I think you can probably tell my emotional like excitement by which movies we're talking about. And so there's definitely some MCU movies. I'm not saying they're perfect, but there's definitely some that are just like, ugh, they're kind of a drag. Like they don't really tell anything that connects to a story that we really need to know, and they're just kind of there to exist. Insert Iron Man 3. This kind of had to finish his trilogy. And remember how I said in the first one, we talked about the 10 rings, the Mandarin was going to play a big part. Well, they introduced the Mandarin in Iron Man 3, which is like the equivalent of Joker is to Batman. And at the end of this movie, no, not even at the end, like 3/4 of the way through this movie, they go, and he's not actually a real person. It's just an actor pretending to be your arch villain. And with that, you just kind of are like, I don't really like this movie. But anyway, I'll tell you what happens. Basically, in Avengers, we see Tony go through a portal to save Earth by taking the atomic bomb that they were going to use to blow up New York to kind of contain all the aliens going in there. What he saw was this giant spaceship. He blows it up, and then he falls through the portal and almost barely makes it back. So he's kind of dealing with some PTSD of that. And so instead of getting help, he just creates hundreds of Iron Man suits. And Pepper Potts, at this point, his love interest, is pretty concerned. It's like, this isn't going to help you. You can't put a suit of armor around everything. Eventually, he gets stranded in this weird small town for some reason without his Iron Man suit. I think he gets like shot out of the sky. I don't even remember what happens in this movie, to be honest. I just really don't care about it. Anyway, he meets this like little kid who then rejuvenates his like desire to be Iron Man again. And so he starts making suits that he doesn't even have to be in. They can be these drone suits. And at the end, he has to fight these guys who are infected with this virus called the Extremis virus, which makes you glow orange on the inside. And then when your arm gets chopped off, you can grow it back. And if you know how to use it well enough, you can breathe fire. I don't know what virus it started off as, but that's what it became. And I don't even know what disease you would choose to even get that kind of virus. Anyway, he takes on the bad guys. The one cool scene at the end is War Machine shows up. He's now the Iron Patriot. He's gotten like red, white, and blue suit. His best friend Rhodey now has like a red, white, and blue suit. And then like he calls in the house party, and you just see like 50 Iron Man suits show in for like the final battle. And then he is hugging Pepper, and she's like, you gotta just like you gotta die to being Iron Man. Like Iron Man is what's kind of killing you, and you are stressing about being a hero. It's time for you to stop being a hero. And he's like, you're right. And he blows up all the suits. And you're kind of like, what? You're Iron Man. And then at the end, he takes the arc reactor out of his body, and he gets the surgery to replace all the shrapnel, and like gets all that figured out. So now he doesn't even need the arc reactor. And then at the movie, you're like, oh, so I guess he's done being Iron Man. And then at the end, he goes, but I'm always Iron Man. And I'm like, what? And then he gets more suits later on in the movies, and this movie doesn't even really matter. So if you don't want to watch it, not a big deal. I do think the kid in Iron Man 3 is going to be in this movie for some reason. So maybe he's grown up and can like help Tony figure something out. But you can pretty much just skip this one. All right, thanks.